Welcome to the Wander Mode podcast, where we celebrate the fearless spirit of women embracing life's wanderings. Where every story is a spark of inspiration and reminds us that sometimes the most beautiful moments happen when we simply embrace wherever the journey may lead. I loved my chat with Ashley Crocker last week, and it was all about strength. And anyone that's been following my journey since January knows that I have been on a mission to regain the strength that I left behind in the dust when I had my kiddo in the midst of COVID. And I have only been successful at this journey in finding my strength because of the conversation that I had with Amy Olson. And that conversation was back in January. She said something that resonated with me so deeply. And I've shared about it a few times because it's stuck with me that much. She shared that when we align things to goals, it's never as successful compared to aligning outcomes to our values. And I recognized that being strong was a value that I had because strength is really what allows us to do so many things. Ultimately, it's going to be what allows me to keep up with my daughter. She's only 3.5 and I am 41 and I have a lot of years ahead of me in which I need to make sure that I keep my body strong and healthy so that I can keep up with her. But as I was sitting here contemplating that conversation with Ashley, it actually got me thinking about all the different ways that we exhibit strength in our lives. And it's really pretty incredible when you think about it, the different avenues in which we can demonstrate strength. We can demonstrate emotional strength, mental strength, physical strength. And I fortunately have had the pleasure of observing many women exhibit strength throughout their lives. And I wanted to share some of those examples today and really celebrate them. And hopefully you can connect to some of these stories and recognize that you are actually so much stronger than perhaps you give yourself credit for. I have a friend who is an ultra runner. She has done multiple 100-mile races. I've had the pleasure of pacing her on some of them, crewing for her on some of them. And not only does it take an immense amount of physical strength to be able to do that, but it's really her mental strength that is the most inspiring to me, that she can push through when she knows her body is wanting to sleep and continue to move those feet, even if it's the middle of the night out on the trail. And watching her cross that finish line and seeing that she is able to accomplish something that she cares deeply about is truly moving. I have another friend who went through a really tough divorce, and watching her navigate all the different emotions, really truly a roller coaster of emotions as she's going through this process, from all of us showing up and packing up her house and moving her to her new place, to watching her come into her own as she's setting up her new apartment and feeling that new vibrant energy that's coming out of that space because she's making it her own. Seeing her a year later and recognizing that she is now the person that we always knew she was inside, but it was hiding. It was hiding because she was in a situation that wasn't conducive to her being herself, that wasn't conducive to her shining. She is now this individual that is just vibrating with life and has become this strong woman mentally, emotionally, and even physically as she's taken on moving from a marathon to a 50-miler. She's now running with Team Triumph, in which she works with individuals with disabilities and helps them complete races. I have another friend who several years ago started a venture into entrepreneurship, and she had to pivot away from it for a while because it just wasn't working the way that she had hoped. And here she is several years later, re-engaging that dream and taking it way beyond even what I think she thought it could be several years ago. And her talent is just pouring out of her in her art and her designs. And it is so cool, as we're both on this journey to entrepreneurship now, to sit down and chat about all the different ways that we can push ourselves and take each other to these new limits. Growing up, I also watched my Nana, my mom's mom, live through a lot of physical pain as a result of neurofibromatosis. And neurofibromatosis is a condition in which tumors grow along your nerves. And it caused her pain for most of her life. Yet you honestly wouldn't even know it. She always had a smile on her face. She was always ready to give a hug. She was always ready to go out and do the thing. And although she dealt with this immense physical pain, she had the mental toughness to push through that and still live life to the fullest. Was it easy? Absolutely not. But did she do it? Yes. Did she set an example of what strength looks like? Absolutely. As I look at all of these examples of women who show strength every single day in a variety of situations, it makes me recognize that so much of our physical toughness, our physical strength, really does stem from mental strength, and that they really have to go hand in hand. That as you're honing in on what it is that you need to do to re-engage in the life that you want physically, you have to re-engage as well with the life that you want mentally. And so for me, I've had to do a lot of digging and soul searching. I had to really dig into what are my values? What are the things that I want to have happen in life? And how is it that I need to work through and make that happen? Do I want to go downstairs and exercise because it's now 8:30 at night and my day just was way busier than planned? Absolutely not. But mentally, I know that I'm telling myself that this is this hard thing, this thing that I don't want to go down and do. And that's exactly what I need to combat, because I know that the next day, when I've done it, I've done the workout from 8:30 until 9:15, I'm going to feel really good about that. And it's going to give me the increased strength to do the thing that I want to do the next day. Or it's going to give me the mental strength and willpower to know that I can push through hard things and accomplish the things that I want to if I simply get behind it from a values perspective. And so as you're sitting out there and you're thinking, man, I wish I could be ... I highly encourage you to think about, what are your values behind the actions? What is your why? Why are you doing this thing? Because then there's never really a limit. You can still set small goals that align with your values, but again, that goal is always going to be moving, whereas your value is so in your core, this unshifting aspect of yourself that you really need to tap into. And that is what can allow you to achieve really any goal that you set in front of yourself. So as you heard those examples today, did you hear yourself in any of those things? Congratulate yourself on exhibiting strength through the hard things that life has dealt you. And know that if you continue to tap into the areas in which you have been strong and finding that willpower, you'll be able to go further in life than you ever imagined.
Thanks for wandering with me today. If you were inspired by this episode and think it would ignite a spark in a friend, don't hesitate to share. And if you're craving more from the Wander Mode community, hop on over to Instagram at WanderModeCo. Meet you in the next episode, and until then, wander on.